Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Monteverdi. A Sioux Falls man accused of killing the 2-year-old son of Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson is out of jail after posting a $2 million cash bond. The circus is known for all their fun acts, but one of the best parts is the food. And today we're making one of my favorites, cotton candy. The scene where I'm standing is much different than it was just a few hours ago. As you can tell, the blood donors blood drive is underway, and I'm currently getting my blood drawn. There's so much more that you didn't see here. If you want to compete, sign up for the Muddy Bike this Saturday at Leif Erikson Campground. The man who stabbed a Sioux Falls woman to death in her home will spend the rest of his life in prison.
The history books is the first known trace of snow. So.
All right, well, just in case, I'm going to plan to be out of town that day, okay? The track behind me is built for motocross, but the hope is that by next year, they'll have one designed for the off-roading community. We're both 25, so yes. Combined, you know, we're 50.
Oh my
God! So you look like you're still sleeping. Or maybe you don't want to reveal some of the big secrets. Bacon Jello.
Yep.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. With the thousands of letters the post office receives each year, one of the most interesting parts isn't just about where they're coming from, but about where they're headed.
I take a teddy bear and
Not every 6-year-old is lucky enough to get their own pet.
bombs away.
But then again, River McKenzie isn't your ordinary kid, and neither is his 4-legged friend.
Lovable, spontaneous, spunky. He was born with swagger.
Exactly a year and a half ago, River was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, a disease typically found in children in which the body doesn't produce insulin.
We missed most of the warning signs. We kind of chalked up his extreme thirst and wanting to use every public restroom to typical 5-year-old boy behavior.
River's life is much different than most kids his age.
That's the only one that was high.
Constantly having to check his blood sugar and watching what he eats.
259.
But these days, he has a new and unlikely friend fighting alongside him.
We knew that especially getting him through his young years and his teenage years and even sending him off to college, that as parents we would feel more comfortable if he had a service dog with him.
15-month-old Clover is River's diabetic alert dog. With a sense of smell so strong, she can detect when River's blood sugar levels are too high or low just by smelling his breath.
Whenever River was out of a healthy blood sugar range, we would take small pieces of a cotton ball and he would have to saturate them with his saliva, and we would freeze them and ship them on dry ice to Clover. So her training was based on River's actual scent.
After 9 months of training at a facility in Oklahoma,
you want it better?
Clover got the chance to meet River for the first time a few weeks ago, and their connection was undeniable.
Since we've gotten Clover, he said, "Mom, do you know on a scale of 1 to 10 how much I love to have diabetes? I love it at 10 because I get to have Clover."
But just 8 days later, Clover proved she was more than just River's companion. She was his hero.
I put him to bed and his blood sugar was 118, which is a perfectly healthy number. And 20 minutes later, Clover came downstairs and was looking for us.
Using the technique taught in her training, Clover took her paw and patted River's mom Bethany on the leg, alerting her that something wasn't right with River.
In 20 minutes, he had gone from 118 down to 40. He had dropped that quickly that, you know, within the first 8 days of having Clover, she saved his life.
It's true, some days are much worse than others, but the rough days are a little easier to deal with when your best friend is by your side.
I think the bond between them as they grow up together will be huge and comforting in so many ways. I hope that that swagger and that great attitude stays with him because for now he's just a little hero.
Laura Monteverdi, KDLT News, Sioux Falls.
There's days where, you know, it feels like it was just yesterday.
I found out that Stefan was at...
When you ask Amina Wolf how she's feeling, she'll tell you it depends on the day. It's been a long year for Amina and her family after she, her husband Stefan, and 3 of their children, ages 6, 1, and 3 months, were involved in a deadly car crash on Valentine's Day last year. An accident that cost one person his life and almost ended theirs, too.
This could have easily went the wrong way. And, you know, I'm so thankful that it didn't.
The children escaped the crash with cuts and bruises. Stefan with a concussion and several broken ribs, but it was Amina who suffered the most significant injuries.
I had my shoulder shattered. They put a plate a rod and about 14 or 15 pins in it. And then my back from my T11 was shattered, also was crushed.
Her broken back and shattered shoulder left her immobile for several months, partially dependent on a cane for walking, completely dependent on her family for everything else.
We went from a point to where, I mean, she'd have to wear her back brace and walk with her cane, and if she had to get up, we had to put one of those gait belts on her that I could hold on to in case she fell, and I'd, you know, help her walk up the stairs, and I mean, she needed help doing everything.
I felt a lot of guilt because I felt like I couldn't take care of my family. I felt like there was no need for me anymore.
There was a lot of bad days, but the bad days really make you appreciate the good days.
One of those bad days was nearly 5 months after the accident, when one of the pins in Amina's back snapped, another surgery, another painful and emotional relapse in her road to recovery.
I felt like we were back at square one, and I was devastated. I was just crying, and I didn't know what we were going to do.
But despite the setback, Amina and her family stayed strong, relying on counseling, their faith, and the support of a loving community to help them stay positive even during the darkest of days.
The biggest thing is just the help that came from all over the place.
Yeah.
From so many people, from so many businesses, from our church, and I mean, it was just all amazing. We have a newfound appreciation for each other, our kids. I mean, I don't know, it's just crazy.
It's been a huge blessing in disguise because you realize what you have and what you could have lost.
It's that positivity and immeasurable faith that has helped this family survive a difficult year.
I'm excited for this summer.
And will give them the strength they need to get through the days ahead.
I'm stronger than what I thought. I'm a lot stronger. Our family is a lot stronger than what I thought.
Sometimes life off the beaten path can be an adventure, and right on the edge of Sioux Falls lies an adventure waiting to be taken for a spin. Sioux Valley Cycle Club is known to adrenaline junkies as one of the hidden gems in South Dakota.
I've raced around the country, and most of my friends have to drive 2-3 hours to go riding. I'm 15 minutes from it.
With multiple tracks including motocross, short track, and hare scramble,
You want another lap?
the club just north of Interstate 90 offers a little something for everyone.
A lot of people don't know about these sports, and we just want to get people aware of what's out here and how close it is to Sioux Falls.
The track behind me is built for motocross, but the hope is that by next year, they'll have one designed for the off-roading community.
Right now, there's not a lot of areas to service that industry. We've discussed it at the Board of Directors meetings, and we tabled it this year, but we're looking at it again for next year. It's just something that we have to address because the market is growing so fast.
In the last 10 to 12 years, the ATV and UTV market has flown into high gear, bringing together families and introducing newcomers to a hobby that quickly becomes a sport for many.
Some people really get the adrenaline rush. They want to go as fast as they can. They love going 70, 80 miles an hour on these things. Some guys, they just want to go out. They want to ride some trails. They want to see some beautiful scenery. And there's that market out there too.
Whether pushing boundaries and taking risks is your thing, or maybe coasting along undiscovered terrain is more your speed, off-roading offers a thrilling adventure on a road much less traveled.